Hello, this is Kyle Bess for my ISM final project. This is the Tableau 2 assignment in which we were given a large data set of a personal hygiene company and given sales data and profit and told to do a general analysis. So the first steps in this that I'm not going to show you because they would later be totaled in the visualization were initially to just do filters with what I was comfortable with beforehand. So Excel, you did the traditional profit. What was the highest selling? What was the highest selling product? What was the most profitable thing by state? What was the highest selling state? But you'll see here it was a logical breakthrough of these different visualizations as we went forward. So for my first visualization, I did total profit and margin by state. So this basically entailed just a map of the United States that showed the darker the hue that was green, the more profitable the region was, or the more profitable state was. So right here, we can automatically see that California is the most profitable state in the country, followed closely by New York. So they have not only profit of over $100 million, but a extremely high profit margin. So going from there, we can only do so much with that very generalized statement. Going from there, we were doing profit and profit margin by city, and we see the very dense distribution of some of these circles, which are dependent on size. Some of these circles divided up into the more densely populated metropolitan areas. So right over here, we see New York being one of the more green. We also see Chicago right here and Los Angeles over here. So we can see the general distribution, but the outliers are obviously the 3 data points that were green. So going from there, here is the profit and the profit margins per product on products being sold in Los Angeles. So not only did we find that the profits were extreme for the highest sales volume product, but the margins were also high. So here we see Kirkland Signature 5% foam for men. It was an anti-balding cream. I looked up the actual chemical involved with it. The profit margin is 50.8, and the sales is over $18 million. $18 million. The next is over $6 million, and those are just napkins, and these are conditioners. So from here, we can say, okay, well, this city's the most profitable city in the most profitable state. We can surmise that, okay, these were these 3 products. Now, what else is there within our data set that has these 3 products and will display similar information that we can possibly analyze from there? So then we broke it up into a sales sheet, similar to the one that we had before, but a little bit more specific. This time, the circles are actually divided into the size, and the size is relative to the number of sales, the number of profit that was there, and the sales itself was what was dark green. So we see that although Los Angeles had sales of over 46 million, and that was the most profitable city within our most profitable state, that it was actually New York who takes the cake with over $71 million, with Seattle being a close second, one of the fastest expanding cities in the United States. So going from there, we can say that New York City is one of our best performers, so we should further analyze New York City to see if there's anything that we can learn from that. So this is a profitability analysis of the items in New York City, where the width of the actual bar within the chart is dependent on the margin associated with that product. So again, we see the same exact product of Nexus hair conditioner with profit margins of 56.97 and an incredible near $30 million of sales in New York City, followed closely by the same product that we had displayed in Los Angeles that was selling better previously than the conditioner, of again nearly 30 million units, but a little bit more profitable than the conditioner. So we can surmise by this is, okay, so the two most profitable cities within our data set have similar products that are making up the bulk of the profits generated within the city. So we can surmise that Seattle probably has a relatively even distribution of those three products that we talked about: the foam, the Nexus hair conditioner, and the Kirkland signature napkins, as well as Chicago. So going from here, it's a little bit more visual representation of what we saw in the bar chart expressed in circles. So the sales themselves are the sales, and the profit margin is what determines how far the circle is along, and the sale itself is what determines how large the circle is. This was primarily created as an instrument for our dashboard, which is right here. So this dashboard, and the purpose of dashboards, in my opinion, especially for someone who is not as familiar with Tableau as they are with Excel, is for a quick glance to tell almost what a story will do later on when we get to that. So we can surmise everything that we've covered up until this point. So the profitability of items in New York City was displayed here because it was concurrent with the profitability of items in Los Angeles, which can be inferenced to be concurrent with Chicago and Seattle as well, the other two larger circles that we have over here, as well as another representation of the same exact data set. So going from here, we also see Miami and Fort Worth, and that should be, yeah, we can go from here, and this was created mainly, again, to suffice to be used for an interactive dashboard. So the use of an interactive dashboard, again, with someone who's not as familiar with Tableau, is it can be shared between departments to better the business entirely. So basically what I'm talking about is if marketing and sales wanted to come together and potentially try to focus on a potential product like the Nexus hair conditioner and develop it for better sales in the Midwest or better sales in the Southeast, they could do that. And they could do that through strategic marketing campaigns, product differentiation, and other key tactics, even if they rebranded it within whichever retailers it was distributed in. If the data set was larger and we were given which actual retailer sold each individual unit, we could dig deeper and see that, okay, well, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's aren't listed, but they tend to be more organic leaning and therefore typically a little bit more expensive. So we can inference that if we made our products a little bit more organic and a little bit more expensive as well, we potentially don't have to change the formula that much. We don't have to spend that much on research and development, and we break into a new market with more profitability of a near existing product, given better returns on investment, more operating income, more net income, and a better look for all shareholders. So going from there, this is basically our story. This is me walking you through with visual representations everything that I just said. Primarily, the use of a Tableau document and a Tableau workbook is a visualization of trends for people to create for decision makers and some that aren't as familiar with a product like Tableau. So at the drop of a hat, we could now consider if these have been, this is a report for 2017 and 2018. If 2015 and 2016 a report was done then, we could immediately correlate our current sales figures to 2015, 2016, try to learn from the past, inference from what we have right now, and then make predictions and make decisions about the future. So the usefulness isn't necessarily in the creation of it, it's in the deployment between departments and for decision makers. Especially this is visualized by something like the interactive dashboard, where I can respectively click, if I'm not familiar with Tableau, and I even couldn't write a formula in Excel, I could click on Colorado and instantly get my profit margin and my profit by state, and same with California. And then if I wanted to know more information about that, I could ask the analyst to generate more or less, or go from there to try to better the company. Well, other than that, if I didn't touch on anything mentioned that was mentioned in my Word document, I apologize. Other than that, I've greatly enjoyed this class. I try to dress up for my final project. Of course, the Hawaiian shirt is a necessity. I hope whoever's watching this has a great day.